Richard Hale, a reclusive millionaire whose empire stretched across continents, had built everything in his life on logic, precision, and control, yet nothing had prepared him for the terror of watching his 3-year-old twin daughters, Lily and Liana, fall mysteriously ill, deteriorating day by day as doctors, specialists, and world-renowned experts failed to find a cause despite his endless money, sleepless nights, and the silent prayer he whispered every time he held their small, frail hands. His mansion gradually transformed from a palace of wealth into a graveyard of medical reports, machines, monitors, and the constant sound of beeping alarms. Helicopters frequently landed on the estate carrying new specialists, new scanners, new hopes that died the moment the doctors admitted they were clueless. Richard's world had shrunk from global boardrooms to 2 tiny hospital beds placed side by side in his master suite, where he slept on the floor each night because he refused to leave them. The media speculated wildly, charities begged for donations, and conspiracy theorists whispered online, but Richard blocked the world out, focusing solely on his daughters, his only remaining connection to his late wife, Amelia, whose death during childbirth still haunted him like a shadow that clung to every corner of the mansion. With every passing week, the girls grew weaker, their once bright blue eyes dulled, their giggles disappeared, and their tiny bodies trembled with a fever no medicine could break. Exhausted, Maria had worked for the Hartman family since before the triplets were born. She was soft-spoken, hard-working, and loved the children as though they were her own. She felt the shift in the air the moment Veronica moved in temporarily. Veronica's smiles were too stiff. Her compliments were too forced. And her eyes, they never lingered on the children with warmth. A few days into Alexander's trip, Veronica's true colors began to seep out like cracks in painted glass. She would snap at the kids for laughing too loudly, scold them for running in the hallway, criticize Lily for her messy pigtails, and glare at the boys for leaving toys scattered on the floor. But what began with irritation soon escalated into cruelty. When the children asked for bedtime stories, she locked the lights and left them in the dark. When they asked for snacks, she threw stale biscuits on a plate and shoved it across the table. And when they cried for their father, she hissed, "Get used to it. He's too busy for you." Maria heard everything. She cleaned quietly, listened carefully, and reported every detail to Alexander, who watched the footage from his hotel suite with a tightening chest. Every tear the children shed felt like a dagger to his heart. He wanted to burst through the front door and end it all, but he needed undeniable proof, and he needed to see. Between people of different ages, backgrounds, and stations in life, the maid's voice grew stronger, more fervent, calling upon unseen forces to watch over these children, to keep them safe, to bless them with courage, wisdom, and love, her words imbued with a kind of magic born from years of struggle, sacrifice, and unwavering belief, while the boys repeated after her in their own innocent, stumbling way, their collective voices weaving a tapestry of hope, faith, and pure intention that filled the room with a palpable energy, and the men, now completely captivated, realized that he had never truly understood devotion, that all the money, status, and success he had accumulated were meaningless compared to this shared moment of sincere prayer, humility, and connection. The light shifted slightly as the sun climbed higher, casting long, golden streaks across the room, illuminating the small beads of sweat on the maid's brow, the earnest expressions on the children's faces, and the astonished awe on the man's features, creating a cinematic tableau of life, faith, and the quiet power of sincerity that no wealth could replicate. And as the final echoes of their prayers faded into the calm of the room, an unspoken understanding passed between them, a recognition that life was fragile, precious, and infinitely more meaningful when shared with honesty, humility, and open hearts. The man took a hesitant step forward, feeling a surge of emotion that he could not name, his voice barely a whisper as he muttered words of apology, gratitude, and admiration, and the maid, with a gentle nod, acknowledged him without judgment, offering instead a smile that seemed to carry the weight of years yet radiated pure light, while the children, sensing the man's softened demeanor, shyly returned their smiles, their small gestures bridging a gap that no conversation could have achieved, and in that moment, the room was transformed from a simple, elegant bedroom into a sanctuary of unspoken truths, raw emotion, and the enduring power of faith, care, and human connection, leaving the men with a deep, unshakable understanding that some of the most profound lessons in life come not from wealth or success, but from humility, innocence, and the courage to believe. And as the scene faded into a quiet, reflective stillness, the maid whispered one final prayer, a prayer that the men would carry this moment in his heart forever, and the camera of life lingered on their faces, capturing the magic of this encounter, while a gentle voice invited the viewers to subscribe, reminding them that more stories like this, filled with heart, emotion, and unforgettable lessons awaited just a click away, promising inspiration, warmth, and moments that could touch even the hardest of hearts. Alexander lifted Lily into his arms and took the boys by their hands. He looked at Maria, the woman who protected his children with the loyalty and heart of a mother. For the first time since his wife's death, he felt something shift inside him: gratitude, admiration, and relief that someone like Maria had been here when he couldn't. As he tucked the triplets into bed that night, he knew this ordeal had changed everything. And little did he know, the danger, the drama, and the unexpected turn of destiny had only just begun. Subscribe to the channel for Chapter 2, the truth, the redemption, and the twist no one will see coming.